So all 20 of my slides are random. The fill time thing, it's all 5 minutes is filling of time. I'm so ready. All right, I'm here to talk today about why radio is not dead. Now, some of you may be confused. You may think radio died a long time ago. That's just simply not true. Radio's not dead yet, and myself, DJ McScruff from WICB at Ithaca College, am going to tell you why. And that's really important. My name, don't bother, it's way too long. You may be wondering, why am I qualified to speak on a topic like this? And there are a couple different reasons. For one, I'm not an armchair kind of guy. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be the Monday morning quarterback. I'm not complaining about radio just because I happen to listen to it a lot. I'm complaining about it because I do it every day for far too long, and it irritates me at times. There are two reasons. One, I have a face for radio. That's the first reason why I'm qualified to speak on this topic. The second reason, as Dave so kindly mentioned, I'm station manager of WICB at Ithaca College. We're kind of a big deal, and we'll explain that when we get to the next slide, but just there we go. Ithaca Times, we're ranked the #1 radio station in Ithaca. Princeton Reviews 2010, #1, 2011-02. Effing DePaul, man, took #1. MTVU's Best College Radio Station, we're kind of just really good. And we win lots of awards, which is really cool too, which is fun, yeah. So I'm allowed to brag. So myth #1, iTunes is better than radio. A lot of people say iTunes is great because they can open it up on their computer and they can just sit there and play whatever music they want. Well, there are a couple problems with that. For one, you don't actually get to hear new music. That's a problem with iTunes. See, you're wrong. That's a big problem because you're just listening to stuff you already know, stuff you've already heard, stuff you're already used to. Go back home tonight and check your top 25 most played. It's going to be absurd how much more you play those than anything else. There's no chance to learn new things, and that's something that radio can give you. Myth 2 is that Pandora is better. And, you know, there are some decent arguments for this. You have a little bit more of a chance to learn new music. You type in a song, you type in an artist, and they start playing new things for you, and then you start to learn things along the way. So that's fair. That's a fair argument. That's something that someone might say. But that's not true. Hashtag Borat joke. And that's because Pandora, you don't get that sense of community. Radio is what you would call a shared experience. You're there, and you're there with thousands of other people listening around the world, around the country, around the area. It's a community of people that are together explaining and doing this music together. You don't get that community in a lot of other places. This is a great show, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw it on Thursday, but it was really funny. We can applause that for a second because I'm stalling for the next slide. So where can't we get that sense of community? There are a lot of places we can't. We can't get it when we're sitting around not playing music. That's a problem. We can't get it from Pandora, that sense of community. You're just sitting there playing your playlist. You can view other people's, but it's just not the same thing. You're not getting that shared experience. There's not someone speaking to you about the music. You also can't get it in iTunes 10, as much as they want to tell you. You can have a community in the new iTunes. They invented this thing. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Ping. It's probably the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, and it's not effective at all, and nobody uses it. I remember I got a Ping account, and the first day I used it, I was like, oh, I can ping a song I'm playing. So I pinged it, and then nothing happened. And I was like, well, this is dumb, and then I stopped using it. So the argument that they now have, that didn't show up, right? The argument that they now have Ping on iTunes does not mean that it's actually a shared community experience. You're not there with the other people listening to those sorts of things. So I say LOL Ping, because it's not going to be effective at all for iTunes. And does anybody here actually using it? Look at that. I just made my point completely right. I was really happy nobody raised their hands. I'm not gonna lie, but it is something that nobody's using, and it's not effective at all. Now let's talk about Ryan Seacrest. There are a lot of people that don't like him. I, for one, am impartial. There's a couple things he's really good at. For one, he fosters that sense of community. People follow him from radio show to TV show to whatever other things he's doing. They watch the shows he produces. So he has a great amount of community. The problem is he's not local. He's world-renowned. Everybody knows him. So if you're listening to him on the radio here in Ithaca, he's not talking about Ithaca. So there's a second aspect to that shared experience, and that's the local aspect. All right, and I'm going to reveal to you guys now. We've done a lot of work on this. We've been trying to figure this out. What is the perfect radio sexiness, and what is the best thing you can do for radio? And so I'm going to reveal this pyramid to you. Be ready. It's going to blow your mind. I'm just preparing you ahead of time because it's going to be really good. Now, you need DJs, you need news, sports, you need to give away some free shit, and then you got to have good music. And notice that it's all contained within the pyramid. It's all localized to your area. The pyramid is where you are. So you need that sense of community, you need that local. The free shit is really important. People really like that. And then all that other stuff. So let's just take a moment, sink it in, sink it in. Think about how important that is to you, how important the local shared experience can be. Just zen for a second, right? Just zen out for a second. I think it's really important. So two conclusions. The first one, I do still have a face for radio. And Oh God, that's terrible. That reminds me of so many bad days. But it is something. You can have a radio face and still stand up in front of people. You just grow a beard first. And then the second conclusions, which are much more important, is that radio is dope, good radio is doper, and good local radio is dopest. My name's DJ McScruff. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic night.